Well, Mario, I guess, a lot of times when we talk about Baylor, people think about the offense, but what do you see from their defense? Take a look at it so far.
Very physical, quick defense. They cause penetration in the backfield. They use a lot of movement to get the O-line on edges, get the tight end on edges, and just got really good players that, bust their tails to keep going. They got good engines and good motors. It's going to be a good one.
With speaking of that, I'm turning it on a little bit for you. But Jake Rowe, lines up next to you sometimes.
Yeah.
He's a guy from Phoenix, and he's had to go through some stuff injury-wise this year. What stands out to you about Jake?
Man, you see him, you would think, no way this guy could block people. Still not tired, but he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's feisty, and he just gets after it. He doesn't care about his size. And he'll scrap. He's a little dog, and he's scrapping. It's big. He's a smart guy too. He's a smart guy. It's fun to play next to. The whole tight end group is fun to play next to. But Jake's, taking it in that he's undersized, like 215, 20 pounds or whatever. But he gets after those 300-pound guys. He does not care. That fires us up as an O-line. It motivates us.
I know it was a couple weeks ago. We haven't got a chance to talk to you. How disappointing was it for the line, I guess, and for the team to not be able to punch it into the goal line there against Air Force?
It was huge. And as an O-line, we're really disappointed. We put that on ourselves. It doesn't matter if they got 20 guys on the line. We got to get 6 inches. We got to get it in, So we were definitely disappointed about that, and that's just something we got to work on and get better and make sure when this bowl game comes up that doesn't happen to us again.
Having to have much time between that game and your next game, has that kind of fueled you guys or had you guys ready to get out there and play again?
It's definitely motivated us. We still have that dirty taste in our mouth, and there's nothing better, to cure that dirty taste and to go out there December 27th and just dominate and get that W.
When you heard Baylor, what was the first thing that you thought of when you got to play them?
Let's go, Big 12 team. Let's go. We're just that little Boise State team that's going to go in there, and we're going to, bust our tails. The rest of the time we have here, get ready for them, and it's going to be a great, it's going to be a great matchup. It's going to be a great opportunity for us as a program, just to put our names out there. They're a Big 12 power program, and beginning of the year they were one of the most elite teams in the country. In the last 4 or 5 years, they've been great. So this is a good test for us as a program and as a team, and we'll see what happens December 27th.
Travis Averill, the guy in your line, someone that we don't maybe know as well. He's obviously a pretty quiet guy. What stands out to you, I guess, when someone mentions his name?
He just works hard. He puts his head down, he goes to work, and he's really, he's fundamentally sound, and he's really athletic. He might not be the most vocal guy, but at the end of the day, he puts his head down, he goes to work, and that's all we can ask of him. He's all line. And this last 4 years, he's became one of my best friends. I'll probably be going to his wedding soon whenever he decides to get married, and he's just a really good guy. A really good guy, a really good dad, and you can't really ask much more of Travis.
Huff keeps saying he's a funny guy, but we don't always see it. Is he the funniest guy? I
don't know about funniest, but he is a funny guy. He makes us laugh. Everybody in that room puts a smile on each other's face. That's what makes it so great about coming in here. That's going to be probably one of the main things I miss about this team is just that group of 17 guys we have in the O-line room. I love every single one of them, all for different reasons. And it's going to be, it's going to suck when we leave, but we're just trying to enjoy these last couple weeks together and, go off the bank.
Have you thought about, on 27 to put on the blue and orange for one final time?
Yeah, I realize that it's, every day it's starting to hit me more and more. It's so surreal, but at the end of the day, everything comes to an end at once. And after this game, my focus is on Baylor, but after that, I'm ready for the next chapter of my life, and it's fired up to see what's going to come. And Boise State has put me in a great situation. Being here the last 5 years to set me up for the next chapter of my life.
How would you kind of assess the regular season? I know in the off season, a lot of guys looked at 2015 and said that was disappointing. It wasn't up to their standard. How would you assess?
Look at it. We're 9 points away from potentially being one of the best teams in Boise State history. We're a safety and we're a goal line stand away. So. It's big. Obviously we're disappointed we lost 2 games, but at the end of the day, we look at it, we won 10 games. A lot of teams in the country would wish to win 10 games. There's some teams that their goal is to win 6 games. And, we fell short of our goals, and we're held to high standard here. But at the end of the day, we can't, that's already in the past, and we just got to learn from our mistakes, those 2 losses we had, and we got to get better.
do you put stock into momentum carrying over from a bowl game? When you play a bowl game, your next game's 8-9 months later.
Oh, that doesn't matter. You springboard yourself into spring ball, fall camp, summer, all that. That's huge. This is the biggest game of the season. Every game's big, but since it's our next game, it's our last game. This bowl game is the biggest game of the season. We're playing a great opponent. We have a great opportunity to go out there and just showcase our talents and get that taste out of our mouth. But I said, that loss to Air Force was huge, so it's going to be big for us.
And in bowl games, a lot they talk about momentum and focus and that kind of stuff for teams coming into bowl games. Baylor's lost 6 in a row, but they obviously have one more game with their old coaching staff. How do you kind of look at what their mindset would be? A lot of people think they might come in, fired up for this one. Some think they might be looking to next year.
I'll tell you one thing: you can't sleep on them. That is, that's a power team. That's a power program. They've been one of the most elite teams in the country. They can play with anybody. They play in a great conference. You can't sleep on them. We got to worry about ourselves and make sure that we bring the energy that we need to bring day in and day out at practice. When we go out there practicing at 3 o'clock, we got to be fired up. It doesn't matter. I don't care if they lost all 12 games. They wouldn't be in a bowl game, but they're capable of winning.
I think you saw the stat or whatnot. Pro Football Focus, rated your group as one of the top pass blocking units in the country this season. 12 games under your belt. How fun was it just to kind of try to come together with those 5 guys and have success?
It was big. Last year, it was a pretty similar group other than Marcus. And, Archie played a lot for Reese. We made an emphasis. Brett got hit way too much last year. I look back and he was on his butt way too many times, on his back way too many times. So we made an emphasis of that. Brett's been doing a great job, getting the ball out of his hands. Probably should have had a couple more sacks than we've had this year. But he's done a great job. J-Mac's done a great job. Alexander's done a great job stepping up in pass protection. The tight ends have done a great job. It's not just us 5 up front, It's been great. I'm not sure how many sacks we've given up or whatnot, but you can definitely tell a difference with Brett having the time to be able to connect on those long balls and, get set and, spur back open like that. So that fires us up on, whatever we said, number 2 or whatnot. But none of that matters if we don't go out there and show up against Baylor.
I know for a long time you've been a big proponent of Jeremy McNichols' work, and it sounds like he might have a decision coming up here one way or the other. And just curious on how special the season. You block for Jay, and now you block for J-Mac during record-setting seasons. And is there a parallel between the two more than just production?
It's huge. We're gifted to have had back-to-back running backs like that. When Jay left for the draft, everybody was like, oh, dang, what are we going to do now? But I knew, the team knew we had Jeremy McNichols waiting to get a shot. And it's just huge. Both of them fire us up. They make us a better team. They make us a better O-line. We watch them run over somebody, and that could do nothing but motivate you. He weighs 210 pounds or whatnot. Seeing him run over somebody that's 300 pounds or whatever it is, run over a safety and just go for 70, that fires us up. And he's got a decision to make, and I haven't really talked too much about that, but that's on his own. And whatever that decision is, I'll fully support him. Whether he wants to come back, he wants to leave, and that's all up to him. So. Yeah.
Kind of a more fun one. Do you have any Christmas memories that stand out growing up or anything? Leighton pointed out the fact that he got like something like a hat, like a raccoon tail on or something.
Not really. Just hanging out with the family, man. Just being with the family is the only memories I really care about, Yeah, gifts are all nice, but at the end of the day, the best gift is having your family.
I'm not sure if we'll get you again, but some of the young guys getting their chance, Ezra, whoever else. With you 3 guys leaving, who are some guys maybe? How do you feel in the group for next year?
I'm huge on all of them. They got good depth. They're bringing in some good JUCO guys. Ezra Cleveland's a baller. We got John Boltron. You guys have seen him come in and play some games. I would be very surprised if I don't see him play next year. Ezra's got some work to do, but he's very capable of doing whatever it takes to find himself in that lineup. And if not, he's going to be young. He's only going to be a freshman next year. I guarantee you by sophomore year he'll be starting. Andrew Tursik's doing great. Mason will continue to develop. Archie Lewis will continue to develop. And we've got all those guys, and it's going to be good for them. I'm fired up to finally be able to watch them from the outside looking in. And fired up for them. Going to miss them a lot. But I know they'll be just fine. They got one of the best O-line coaches in the country. Coach Huff is great. He whatever he has, he works with it. He makes it happen.
And you talked about your next chapter for you. Have you given much thought to what is going to happen after the bowl game in terms of getting an agent and training and all that kind of stuff. And I guess, are you excited for that, Jeff?